It's been 2 weeks since my last entry, and honestly, the first week right after the last entry that I put up had been so busy and so full of activities. I completely forgot that I'm supposed to put up one of these. And then when the second week started rolling in, I remembered that, oh, I missed one. Then I thought, okay, let's just get it to 2 weeks so that I won't end up uploading one after 10 days and one after 4 days, because then there wouldn't be much to like report. So it's been really crazy because, um, for those of you who don't know, I have cyclothymia, which is a mood disorder. It can be compared to like a younger cousin of bipolar disorder. And I get through these periods of high and low moods. The only thing that I can predict beforehand is when a high mood might hit. So try to get all the projects and work that need more attention and more investment during those times, because that's when my performance is at its peak, which I just cannot bring myself to do when I'm in my low phases. So the first week since my last entry was something like that. I was getting so much done with so little sleep, not really depending on coffee. I just couldn't sleep as much. I ate less. It was just work, 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 work. I was like visiting friends, and friends were checking on me, and I was checking on them, and I was doing my field work, and I was cleaning the house, and I was throwing out old trash, and I was taking out all the things that I thought I needed, basically a hoarder situation. And then I was just getting things of everything. My mind was crystal clear, and so like the spark of ideas was non-stop. It just kept on coming. And then it was pretty darn amazing, because I don't have that kind of high activity or high productivity usually. Since before I if I'm on some long-term work, before I get to finish the work, my dysthymic phase or the low phase hits, and then it just affects my productivity, and everything just goes downhill from there. So I was trying the best to make use of the high phase so that I could, like make up for whatever time I was going to lose in the coming phase. And I got a pretty good head start. What I wasn't expecting was that the low phase would hit me so hard, and it started some 3 4 days ago, and it's been really slow since then. I really don't like how it's all going, but I'm trying to keep my head above the dark waters, because I have learned after a lifetime of having all this stuff happening in my brain that feelings are temporary, but what you do, the stuff you do can be permanent. So it's very important that we don't act. Excuse me. So it's very important that we don't act on the whim of our feelings. The highlight of my year happened surprisingly this year when I got a direct reply from Jedward. I was on such a dopamine high. I thought I was dreaming. I practically texted them back to send an ambulance because I could have probably died from all that. But anyway, it was really nice and wonderful to be seen and heard that way, and probably it won't ever happen again. But it was nice while it lasted. Um, I'm still coming off the high of that insane dopamine rush. It just looks very demure and toned down right now because of the low phase I'm going through. And before the year ends, I have so many pending work to do. Like I was a part of this screenplay writing workshop, of which I could pay only 50% attention. Attention to 50% of the entire workshop, because it was so taxing. Things, the smallest and simplest of things, get very overwhelming and confusing and difficult to understand when your dysthymic phase hits. And that's a very common scenario with the cyclothymia that I have. And it can be very frustrating when you are a slave to your mood disorder and the whims of the chemicals in your brain, but then you have to keep going and moving forward. So before the year ends, I'll probably be able to get another one of these up, and maybe it'll be more interesting than the one I'm making right now. And came back home after 3 weeks of non-stop work, of cooking, cleaning, and everything. And my takeaway from the last 2 weeks is that I'm insanely grateful for having real friends, friends who have actually checked on me, because I was so hyperactive. They were actually worried that I was maybe getting ahead of myself. But when I explained to them that it's actually just the the hypomanic phase that was taking care of everything, they were like, okay, but they still provided me something like a security blanket to fall back on so that it won't get so tough when the low phase hits. And I'm very grateful for their support, and I'm even more grateful that they made their support known to me, because as adults we become dumber than kids. We don't say things that are supposed to say. We don't reinforce good things that we see in other people. We just leave so many good things unsaid, and I think that's really sad. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for always checking in and maybe checking out some of these entries. And stay real, stay awesome.